In this video, I'm building the Huntrix Tower from K-pop Demon Hunters in LEGO. But first, I have some questions, like what happened to the Huntrix private jet? How much money do they actually make, and do they own the entire Huntrix Tower? I mean, they are saving the city, so it makes sense to have a superhero base. But if I'm gonna build this as accurately as possible, we're gonna need to answer some questions. So let's do this. Yeah! We're gonna kick their butts! Yeah!
That's my girls!
Rumor has it, the Huntrix building is more tied to the Marvel universe than we may think. Mostly due to the fact that it looks like Tony Stark could live there. But I'm not the only one to compare the Huntrix Tower to the Avengers Tower. So, I went out and bought, actually I stayed in my house and shopped online, and I got this $500 LEGO set, which is why there's a shipping label right on the front of the box. Fortunately, I don't need the box, just the 5,201 parts inside, because I don't have a lot of these window pieces, and I'm gonna need a lot of these window pieces. 269 of them to be exact. Yeah, this got old real fast. And for the next 7 hours, so did my back. And with 6 main stories and a tower floor, this thing is massive, but surprisingly sturdy. The front glass, though, just sort of sits there. I'm not really a fan of this. But that's okay, because Huntrix has a lot of fans. And they're gathering outside the building now, hoping to get a glimpse of their favorite pop stars. And since Huntrix just acquired the building, let's see what we're working with here. Glass. Gonna need to be repaired. Safety hazard. This entire section needs to be in line with the corner windows. Let's get rid of this entirely. Landing pad. And we're rebranding. And after some more struggle, I managed to get this building prepped for move-in day. Our main floor is the lobby, with the marble flooring and this really cool receptionist desk for scheduling visits to the tower. And while you wait, you can enjoy a refreshing soda pop while sitting in a comfy chair. The only problem is, we're gonna have a lot more than 2 visitors, because this is Huntrix we're talking about, and they love their fans. So I put our bodyguards, Hunter and Rick, outside to hold off the fans while we prepare for the signing event organized by none other than Bobby.
Table, now!
We've got posters of Roomy, Meera, and Zoe ready to be signed, because as they say,
happy fans, happy honeymoon.
Before you know it, fans were storming into the lobby. That is, until their rivals appeared, the Saja Boys.
The Saja boys will sit with us.
What? Genius.
I am not sitting with no Saja boy. What's up?
I even built this girl.
Your secret's safe with me.
I decided to swap out the receptionist desk with something a little more on brand. And to run the tower, I built Celine, the previous demon hunter that helped raise Roomy after her mom mysteriously passed away. And now our first floor is complete. This next level is a science laboratory with a glass bridge. I proceeded to then remove everything from inside and replace the flooring with some pink carpet. So take a guess whose room this belongs to. For the bed, I grabbed some pink and black bricks to match the same vibe as Meera, our goth baddie with sick dance moves. I built her a computer desk with a ring light and makeup so that she can do a fit check for her napalm era. Then I built a little table with some leftover cereal and Mario Kart on the TV, because right next door, or rather up the stairs, is the next member of the band, Zoe, and her turtles.
All about turtles.
Her colors are yellow, purple, and blue. And then I grabbed this purple chair that's totally compatible with minifigures. Yes, this is comfortable. Really comfortable. I built her a gaming desk out of more cereal boxes since she spent time in America, and made sure to include the Fortnite screen because her IRL singer voice, Rayami, actually plays Fortnite, and Huntrix is literally in the game right now, which is so cool. I gave her a sick streaming setup and also a plushie collection because Zoe kind of seems like the person who would have plushies. Oh, and don't forget the turtles. Now that Zoe's room is done, I placed the loft above Meera's room, but I forgot to leave rooms for the support, so I guess we don't need these. But we still have 3 more floors and the tower coming up with some of my favorite rooms, so let's get on to the next one. This floor is going to be dedicated to their recording studio that we see in this scene when they're trying to come up with a song to take down the Saja Boys. We can see peak furniture, their table of ramen, and some recording equipment. So I whipped up this pink Lego couch and a couple of chairs. Then I gave Zoe some sheet music and Meera a small keyboard so they could work on their song. In the back is a sort of recording studio area, so I strung up some chill lights and a couple of speakers, along with a few amplifiers and a guitar. I wanted to create that burn wall that we see them throw darts at, so I printed some of the Saja Boy pictures, including Mystery with those drawn-on horns, and then stuck them onto this wall. I think it really captures the vibe of the recording studio. So let's get this room buttoned buttoned up with windows and our support beams because now it's time to tackle the next room. This floor was previously dedicated to a precarious prison cell and a broken elevator. Wonder who was responsible for that. I proceeded to clean up this room by removing all of the items, clearing out the flooring, and I fixed the elevator. This room's gonna have a checkered floor, so take a guess what you think this is gonna be. If you guessed the grand closet, then you're correct. I'm gonna use door frames for each outfit, and I should be able to fit about a dozen outfits in here this way, including a few silly ones, and of course their golden premiere outfits. And these are the custom printed minifigures from minifigs.me. I've linked them in the description below, and they also have tons of new figures from recent shows and pop culture, but I love that they've included the patterns on Roomy's alternate face print, because, you know, demon. They've also given Meera the most unfazed facial expression, and Zoe with a super happy face print, and I just realized that I've switched Zoe and Meera's outfits, but did you notice? Moving on, because our next floor is the Penthouse, home to the couch, Bobby. But first, let me explain how difficult of a shape this building would be to recreate in real life, and somehow the Penthouse footprint is smaller than the rest of the tower, which means the rest of the tower would be absolutely gigantic in LEGO. Anyway, I removed the old furniture that our previous tenant couldn't be bothered to move, and laid down some new flooring to match the marble, wood, and that colorful rug as seen in the movie here. This is where our big white couch goes, so the girls can soak up some much needed R&R time with a table full of snacks. On this wall we can also see a bunch of records, which makes you wonder how many songs they've written together, or if they're records from the past singing groups like Celine's. Next to that we have a kitchen, and since this is Korea, they're gonna need a Samsung smart fridge. To the right of that is a decorative shelf that's sole purpose is to hold cups of ramen, which also makes you wonder, do they like own a ramen factory as an alternative source of income, like Chen's Noodle Factory from Ninjago? Lastly here, I built in a small patio, which is where Roomy goes when she sees the three-eyed crow. And of course Derpy, who's represented here by this printed piece, also from minifigs.me. He gives her a note from Jinu asking her to meet. Fortunately, I was able to still make these glass windows fit with room for the tower. This is gonna be Roomy's not-so-roomy room. First, I had to remove all of the knickknacks and broken concrete, and make a nice little plushy brick bed in blue, with some purple flooring, a nightstand for Sussy to watch her sleep, and a quaint little desk with a Mac and a literal keyboard next to some throat juice. But that basically sums up Roomy's small and not-too-roomy room. But we still have one more floor, actually, and it's gonna be the tiniest apartment in the world. This is for Bobby. Whoa, Bobby, put on some clothes. He's got a bed with some digital screens to keep track of the social trends, and below that he's got a mini fridge and a rice cooker and some coffee. No wonder he was so eager to go on vacation.
No, I couldn't possibly. Just kidding, road me. I'm a 34 short, please. See you in a couple weeks, girl.
All of that gets tucked away behind this cool secret panel, because I just finished the last room, and now I can take this super flexy panel and close up the last section of the tower. Oh, I guess we can put a plant right here for Derpy to just obsessively stare at to make sure it doesn't fall over. But there is still one last thing, the logo. I tried brick building this several ways, but I think this design works the best, for those who have the right colors, of course. I did my best to get the shape with the H in the middle, but this would look awesome if you had all blue curved tiles. I also decided to turn the front glass around so that it looked more bubbly, and ironically, it's in black and blue, just like Derpy's colors. This definitely helps the overall shape of the building, and I'm really happy with all the rooms I was able to fit into the space. This is by far the largest K-pop Demon Hunters project so far, and the fans are really excited. But watch out for those demons. Someone in the comments a while back suggested that I use a prismatic blade for Roomy, so I got this Ninjago set and stole the single most powerful blade in the Merge Realms, which seems fitting for Roomy. I also finally acquired this LEGO Animal Crossing set just for Rosie's torso, which is too accurate for baby Saja. And if you want to see how I built all of these characters and other builds, consider checking out my other video that's being shown to you on screen now, or perhaps this other video that YouTube thinks that you'll enjoy.
Oh well. Oh, more!